Meditation can be thought of as a practice to deepen our attention and awareness and put them to greater practical use in our everyday lives. The lifestyle most people in the West are living is very fast-paced and hectic, very stressful. So the quickest way to bring balance is to spend time practicing the opposite of what you do most regularly. So for those of us that are thinking too much, too often, stressed, anxious, if you just spend a few moments each day calming it down, slowing the mind down, focusing on stillness, then a greater balance will be achieved. If you imagine yourself as a computer, then what we want to do is run the defragmentation program. We've accumulated so many different files over the years, and we're going to seek to delete the unnecessary ones and reorganize the ones that are useful. So we're just becoming more efficient and being able to operate with more clarity. If you find yourself suffering too much from anxiety and worrying and stress, chances are you're spending too much time living in the future. If you're depressed and angry and bitter, chances are you're spending too much time living in the past. Our goal is to become more present, live in the here and now. We're aiming to return to a simpler state, where we spend less time up in the head and more time down in the body, switching from thinking to feeling mode. Having a good exhale is an invaluable life skill, just releasing tension through the exhale and helping you stay in control of your emotions. Meditation can be practiced at any part throughout the day, but I find morning is best because then the benefits extend throughout the day and you're gaining more from it. So upon wakening, have a glass of water, and before going on your phone, checking your emails, the TV or anything like that, get your practice in. Ideally, you would be able to pick a nice, quiet, peaceful area outdoors, by some nice trees or some animals. That's going to help increase the benefits of your practice, because being around nature will help calm everything down and alter your frequency, that of your surroundings. Obviously, practicing outdoors isn't always going to be suitable for all of us, so it's fine to do it indoors. Try and pick the calmest room in your house, away from electronics. Spend a minute or two decluttering, a little quick tidy up, allow some fresh air to come into the room, and when you practice in the same spot regularly, that also enhances the benefits. Pick a place where you know you're not going to be disturbed, and again make sure you haven't got your phone on you. In terms of posture or position to meditate in, there's only one thing that's important, and that's to be comfortable. So that means you can lie down, you can sit on the floor, you can sit on a chair, you can stand. See what works for you. I personally like to sit in a position like this for three main reasons. One, energy flow is restricted to the legs, which means there's more to work with in the upper body. Two, if I'm lying down, it's a bit too similar to when I go to sleep at night, and I like to keep my meditation and my sleep separate. Although, by all means, you can meditate just before drifting off at night if that's what you want to do. Thirdly, this also helps practice good posture, keeping the spine upright, just like in the form practice. Some of you may struggle holding this position for the first few weeks or whatever, but over time you will adapt, you will grow stronger, the posture will improve. You can sit on a cushion, elevate the hips so your bum is higher, hips can come above the knees, that will be more comfortable. Play around with different leg positions, different hand positions, again, just be comfortable. But be aware though that if you are a beginner in these positions, if they are uncomfortable, you've got to block that out from your mind, from your meditation practice. So don't become too concerned if something starts aching, and don't let that ruin your practice. Just accept it, it will be over shortly. Your hands, they can be wherever, they can be palm down, some people like palm up, they can be crossed in front of you. Do what feels natural for you. Feel free to change the hand position throughout your meditation practice. Make sure the face is relaxed. Okay, so when people try and concentrate too hard, a lot of the times they start tensing up between the eyebrows, maybe a bit of tension in the jaw. So everything relaxed, but upright. It's important to set your intentions before you practice. Remind yourself why you're practicing and set the tone. When you're setting your intentions, make sure you take a moment to remind yourself that there is no pressure of time. You're in no rush. You have all the time in the world and you're dedicating yourself 100% to your meditation. We go through our everyday lives always feeling like we're in a rush to move on to the next thing, to complete the next goal, the next task. That's going to work against us. We need to be present and relaxed. Many people's lifestyles cause them to live in an acidic state. The blood level becomes more acidic and this is unhealthy. So one of the easiest and quickest ways to bring our pH level into a more alkaline state is through a greater uptake of oxygen. I like to start my day off with flooding my body with oxygen by the use of deep breathing techniques. What we're going to do is just breathe in to full capacity and only partially exhale, and repeat that 30 times. After doing this for a while, obviously you can experiment with different techniques and chop and change it up as you like, but just to get started I recommend 30 full inhales followed by 30 partial exhales. And when we breathe, you want to breathe with the diaphragm. The diaphragm lowers, the lungs expand, air is drawn in. We want a full inhale. For the exhale, you just release and let the air come out. You don't push it out. So if you imagine a blow up mattress, when it's time to deflate it, you pull the plug out, the air starts coming out, but then normally you need to jump on it and start squishing it to get all the air out. We're only interested in letting the air out on its own without having to add to it. So you take a full inhale until all the lungs are filled with air, and then just release, and then repeat 30 times. By the end of this, you give a full exhale, and then you just stay still and you hold the breath for a moment. You should feel a surplus of oxygen in the body. Spend a moment directing that around the body, becoming more aware of the body, scanning the body. You can, over time, become aware of the pulse of the blood. You can scan the internal organs. You can feel the bones, the joints, behind the eyes. You become more and more aware of the body in more detail. Experiment with sending the awareness to different parts. If you have injuries anywhere, spend a little bit more time on those parts. Let's say I had a bad left elbow. Once I'd completed the breathing, I would send my mind to my elbow, but also above and below the elbow. Before we can get deep into our meditation practice, we have to strengthen our concentration ability to focus the mind on a single point for a prolonged period. Most people are lacking in this department. If you like, there is a separate method we can use to cultivate our concentration, and that is placing a candle close to you and just focusing on the movement of the flame for 5 minutes straight. At any point along that 5 minutes, if someone were to say, pause, tell me what the flame did for the last 5 seconds, you should be able to describe its movement. If you can't, that means your mind has wandered and you are no longer fully present with the flame. Now we're going to put 15 or 20 minutes aside just for stilling the mind, going inside and just observing. If you observe a newborn baby breathing, its belly expands on the inhale and contracts on the exhale. This is diaphragmatic breathing. That's what we want to return to. We all used to do it. We are all capable of doing it again. The simplest way to observe and to be present is just to follow the breath. We don't force the breath, we just observe the breath. We notice it move into the body, down, and then up the other way and out. Each time the mind wanders, we found it's drifted off, it's thinking about the past or the future, we just bring it immediately back, following the breath again. As we become better at just observing and watching without judging, a separation will begin to occur between what we are watching and the watcher, or that which is being watched and that which is doing the watching. The space in between thoughts will begin to grow the less we attach ourselves to the thoughts. So we just want to observe the thoughts popping in to our attention as if they were clouds, and then just letting them move on by without attaching to them. They will come and go continuously, but we're just to observe, not attach, not judge. Stay focused on the here and now, following the breath move in and out of the body. This is not easy. You may find yourself going through the full 15 minutes struggling in a way, battling to stay present and stick to your goal of following the breath. That's okay. It will pay off. Small improvements will come. Enjoy the moment where the inhale transitions to the exhale, or the exhale transitions to the inhale. Explore that area more deeply. At no point should you think that you've got it or that you fully understand the breath. There's always more exploring to be done. Something that's going to come up through your meditation practice is observing how you can be a bit harsh on yourself, and you'll soon realise that that doesn't serve you and it actually works against you. So you have to learn to be kinder to yourself to help develop your practice. The mind is exceptionally good at wandering off. This is why it can be referred to as the monkey mind, because it's just continually hopping about all over the place, and it can do it in increasingly subtle ways. So we have to play the game of spotting when it's wandered and bring it back. It wanders, you bring it back. The quicker we can bring it back, the better. Now, be on your guard against different methods it uses to wander. One of the main tricks the monkey mind likes to use is having us judge ourselves and then having us judge our judging. It's a vicious cycle which just prolongs us from achieving our goal of bringing our attention back to the here and now and following the breath. When your 15 or 20 minutes or however long you set aside for following the breath has come to an end, take a moment now to set your intentions for the day ahead and cultivate an attitude of gratitude. So often we focus on the things we think we need, but by actually focusing on the good things we've got going for us, it brings about more of that. The calmness that comes with spending time every day following the breath can be carried out throughout your everyday life. It's going to help you be more patient, it's going to help you harmonise more with your environment and make you feel like you're more in the flow of things as opposed to resistance and fighting against things. There will be a feeling of peace and calm which you'll carry with you, and you can pass it on to others as well. It takes about 30 days on average of practicing something new every day for it to become a habit. Those first 30 days are going to be the hardest. So if you can stick with it 15 to 20 minutes a day for 30 days, by that point you will start noticing the benefits and you will want to continue it after then. Practice every day for 30 days and then make your mind up on the benefits of meditation. Enjoy.